We're gonna get into some After Effects skills and research style. We're gonna get into it. Interesting how music fades like that. Let's see what we got. 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 After Effects. My bad. Illustrator. Turn it down a little bit. All right. The work must be done, so let's do it. And why not stream it? Working on a Saturday night, working on any night, it's all the same thing to me. Every day is the same. What are you doing? Working out, building, doing something. Even for my leisure, I'm doing something. Because I sure enough did just watch that UFC. Congrats to Leon Rocky Edwards, who kept the belt in England, the UK, Europe's happy about that. And he's also representing Jamaica as well. So shout out to him on the win. Keeping that belt, keeping a strap. Welterweight UFC Championship Strizap. Shout out to him. Let's see. We're about to build some things. I had some files already going, but I'm gonna open some things back up. SXR official, and we got frames. Let's see what we're working on. Skills and resources. Okay. Let's get into this and see what we come up with. I want to do some motion and some graphics put together, known as motion graphics. Shout out to anybody who pulls up on this stream. We can get into some other discussions. Y'all shout out any questions or anything y'all got. Let me know who's in the building. Hit the like button. So 6 people lurking, cloud watching. But sure, why not? Why not do motion graphics on a Saturday night after I already had my fun? And like I was saying, even my leisure, my fun is learning, because I'm definitely big into the martial arts fight training. You know, not like I'm really trying to go fight like a pro fighter, but if something really pops off, plus some of the way I train is like, it's not even about a sport. It's like more on a self-defense tip. Whereas Dream was good. Skills and resources, y'all. Am I sharing? Y'all see everything all good? Music, audio good? Y'all let me know. So really rocking with this phrase that's developing, is getting some energy of its own, taking on some a life of its own, so to speak. Talking to people behind the scenes about kind of, you know, the direction I've been pushing relative to sort of YouTube, Black Manosphere, sort of my place within the space. And again, having this discussion and really seeing where this could potentially go. And having a blast with it. Look at that. So I got this print. So I got this sort of money outline kind of thing going on. And it's kind of cool. And kind of what's going on right now is I'm really developing out like how I want what will be considered as like the culture and direction of this brand to really go. Because there's a few things I have in mind for this and with this, but part of it is like really seeing where I want to go with it. Because it is relative to skills and resources, but at the same time, like I'm really gonna see if I can pull off a move like meet them where they are. So this is more of like a social experiment, a thought experiment, social experiment kind of thing, like what I want to do with this. Because it's being born out of this sort of YouTube Black Manosphere thing. All right, so I got a folder, I got some files. Let's see. I just called it. There it is in dialogues. What's good, sir? Let's see. Money pattern. And you know what? If I get enough people in here that's interested, y'all let me know. Some people know the story of the skills and resources discussion. So if there's any brothers in here that really know the story, I might, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I might even drop the link. So to let this again take on a life of its own. But the merchant's working hard. I heard that. I heard that. So we'll see. We'll see who pulls up. We might open up I might drop the link. So a rare AM1 panel. You dig? Money pattern. I wish I knew where that went, but we'll find it. All right, so what I'm doing right here is just really seeing what I want to do with this. So again, I'm getting everything set up. Red October, what's good? Oh yeah, that's a big file too. That's huge. Where'd it go? Money pattern, PNG. So I just rendered this out so it's its own this PNG image, transparent background, alpha channel. Because I got to alpha my way through these graphics. You understand? Life is hard. I got to alpha my way through it. So this money pattern thing is pretty dope. It has this like color gradient thing to it. I should actually shift the gradient because I'm not even using that much of it. Let me see. Let me run that back. Run that back a little bit. This is such a huge image though. Let me see. Okay, so it's probably up there more. Because I really want the gradient to be up here more. So let's see. It's kind of very hard for you guys to see what I'm talking about. I don't even know if that had the effect I want. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, that's wild. Wait a minute. Why did you do that? Oh, because it's applied the gradient to the whole thing. Definitely not what I'm trying to do. Okay. So this thing, like, yeah. So this is like vector artwork. So it's taking up a lot. So just to manage this alone. So y'all see, just again, y'all get to welcome to my world. See what all goes into this type of craziness. Welcome to my world. Editors and graphic designers and motion graphic designers know, they know my pain. They feel my pain right now. You gotta deal with this file so everything gets all laggy. So let me take this in. I'm gonna fire that off again. Money pattern. Good. Yeah, it takes a while to even save that. So what's happened is it's saving to this folder, so it's gonna finish. It's gonna populate down in there. Major Paint Diaz was good. Krita, GIMP, Inkscape, or nothing. You can't see anything. Oh. So you being one of those kind of guys. Wait, you're not seeing it? Oh, my bad. I'm already up into it. That's why I appreciate y'all. Okay, so I gotta basically stop the show, start the whole show all over again. I was trying to be extra and do this whole thing with this, but let me get rid of it. All right, now you see what I'm working with. So skills and resources, I got this money pattern thing, kind of like the watermark kind of deal going on. So I'm getting this set up to put into After Effects, and this is gonna be a real tricky thing because it's such a big file, right? So I really gotta manage this. Actually, let me try this though. So here's what it is. And thank you guys for that. 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 And like I said, depending on what we get up in here, I might drop the link. We might turn this into a panel because I really want to, as I develop this thing, this whole skills and resources thing. Like, man, shout out to the fam. We've been talking behind the scenes. We can really develop this into something that I hope can be impactful because, like, my background with anything social is like I'm a middle-aged guy, but I'm kind of like a youthful, energetic kind of guy. So it's like I can play the game of being out and about and all that good stuff. But now it's like I do that for a living, so I get the best of both worlds. Like people, I don't like my homie hit me up earlier talking about I might be out in Oakland. I was like, sounds good. Like as if you're gonna come out. I'm like, no, fam, no. Somebody paying me for a gig? No. Shouldn't be like that, but it be like that. All right, hold on, let me do this real quick. So, I gotta chop it up with y'all, but then at the same time, can we make a discussion that's kind of like oriented truly for, so if we know Black Manosphere space, right? Black YouTube, Black Manosphere, There's brothers like myself who kind of, came in here with different trajectories, saw where it could go, what it could be, and then got a little disgruntled with where it went to the point where it's like, man, this is super corny. Okay, this is trash. So let's kind of make fun of it, right? It's interesting. It's like interactive. AZ Tech was good. It's an interactive soap opera kind of situation. So sure, I get this is a lot of people's entertainment. This is their new TV situation, or if they're watching their ratchet shows like Power and BMF, and I'm mentioning those because I watch those. Then they just brought Mandalorian back, so some of them things. I got my downtime R&R guilty pleasures type of fuck off content. Um, but then the YouTube thing is just this real interactive. You can be a part of the fun, be a part of the drama. But can it be something that's truly empowering to black men, where it can be like a source of pride, where you can be like, yeah, rocking with this online community, blah blah blah. Brothers are really making moves and linking, and where you could really say, yeah, name off a content creator that you had access to, that you kind of rocked with for years, and was like, oh yeah, we actually did something, built something. I really like learned something. Now I know that happens, and not just learned something, but was able to apply it in the real world. Shout out to brothers like Keep It Techie, G Dizzle, Sub Zero. Anybody who's doing like real world course stuff, shout out to Grinch, he dropped a book. Shout out to Afi Kingdom, he dropped a series of books. Jing was good. Like brothers with real world offerings, like where somebody could literally like go back and be like, just to people on the street, like, yeah, I was rocking with this, black YouTube thing on YouTube, blah blah blah. The space where Kevin Samuels came up out of that. But I learned something from some guys that I've applied, and it really changed my life. Like imagine being able to have pride in this. Now, my bar for something I'm gonna say I'm rocking with and I have pride in is pretty high. So far, I'm to the point where this Black Manosphere shit is like super corny, to the point where I like, obviously some of y'all know by now, I like critique it and make fun of it by and large. If people want to call me a hater, or call me a rabble-riser, or call me one of the OG top Manosphere guys, straight up call me a dick. And I was pretty hurt about that. I was like, damn, why I gotta be that? Why I gotta be all that, sir? All right, so again, I'm just getting this all prep. Tone Malone one of my day ones. He knows from way back. Our narratives and dialogue says Phil Brad was good. It can, but you have to weed out the dysfunction and those inserting themselves in and not a part of Black Manosphere. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, there's no barrier for entry, right? So there's the idea of, guys have talked about some kind of, I don't know, council or whatever, just, some kind of thing to make it to where, I mean, I guess, Black community, larger Black community, anything flies. There's Black folk can't do no wrong, or anything just gets to fly. There's no accountability on the side of men or women, really. Like, we're way beyond, I know, babies who have babies, generational, just arrested development. I talk all about that, so I get it. But it's like anything goes. There's no barrier of entry. There's no like, hold on, fam. Like, why should you be listened to? Why should you be respected? And you come into this room of guys doing stuff saying like, we're about respect here. So what are you bringing in? And then it's like, other guys got to be like, well, here's what I'm doing. And then we can all say, yeah, okay, you're bringing actual value that can be applicable in the real world. You get a room full of guys like that, then guys coming out of that room be like, yeah, I really learned something. Here's what I applied. And then it's like, you can have pride in that. So imagine if the Black Manosphere was like that, where you could talk about it from a source of pride. Like, yeah, I actually not just feel good about something somebody told me, or it made me feel better about how to deal with women. Like, there's something to be said for that as like a win in life. But there's so much more. So we can talk about like some trajectory of, obviously the narrative flip-flops, right? But I'm just really trying to look at it from the standpoint of, again, I do consulting work, visual media work, essentially solving problems for clients, right? We're solving problems. What do you have something you're trying to push? Let me help you get that out and be effective getting that out to the world. So I look at these things, I'm seeing so many new like content creators come up, and it's like man, the profiteering from the gender war, so-called blah, blah. I don't acknowledge any actual gender war, because if you're a man and you're actually trying to acknowledge some gender war, what you're really saying is that you're at war with the opposite sex, and they're like to be in a war, you have to be fighting somebody who could potentially kill you. Like, meaning it's a fair fight, it's an even fight. So if you're saying gender war, what you're really saying is women are equal to me and have the ability to harm me like I could harm them, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think any real man should think like that. The equity, equality discussions and all this type of stuff. I'm like, fam, no. So again, for me, on the problem solving tip, I'm like, okay, so most dudes are lame in life. So that extrapolate that out to Black YouTube, Black Manosphere. Most of these dudes in here are incel lames. So they're not gonna look at it from the standpoint of how do we utilize this thing to really like make moves and get power and like level brothers up and all that, blah, blah, blah. So my thought is, okay, I get that. I understand what it is. I can be honest about what it is. So then let me talk to the more rarefied guys, just like rarefied energy in the real world. There'll be the rarefied guys here on some game, recognized game, and see exactly what we're dealing with. So I want to talk to those guys. You see what I'm saying? So how do we leverage the common narrative and then flip it into something that can sort of like reach the minds of some of the normie, like lame guys, right? Because some people are just going to only be like brought in on the entertainment tip and or the sulking tip. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't have power in the world, so I want to be around a bunch of other people who are crying about the power I don't have in the world. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. You come, let's all sit around and be victims together. Let's all be victims together. Okay, so what do the victims want? What do the victims like? A lot of black cells who can't think for themselves. Yeah, right. Gender war. Weak shit to broadcast because that'd be a you problem, right, with the rest of the world. That ain't the war. Exactly. We'll see what you're good at and good for outside of thinking everyone's wait, it just moved. Let's see what you're good at and good for outside of thinking everyone is the same in this space, and our super positive brothers. Punctuation is gonna throw me off on that, but yeah. Crying about power. Come on, nigga. Incels exist. Ask the short guys. Sure. But I know short dudes that are, resourced up, got the ladies in effect. Like my uncle, shorter guy, one of the most G'd up G's we'll ever know. So I don't play that game. I've seen shorter guys boss up on a lot of levels. Now, the incel concept, involuntarily celibate, that can be fixed. There's ways to fix that. So again, like, I'm not somebody who's big on pity party type stuff. I'm always going to laugh at that. So, Pandias, I'm not sure if you were serious, but yeah, I mean, people crying about the power they don't have, because that's not how power works. You don't cry to someone who has more power for power. You do things and make moves and build skills and resources that allow you to gain power. You take power, you gain power, you create power. You don't cry for power and get power from someone else who has more power. That's not how it works. There are honorable ways to fix the incel thing. Are there honorable ways to fix the incel thing? Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, totally. Most of the whole incel thing is social engineering, is just like weaponized apathy. So many things being made to be way entirely too convenient and guys falling into the trap. And then just entitlement concepts, like thinking somebody owes you something. That's one of the biggest things. Nobody owes anybody anything. So it's like, where's the woman for me? Like, nobody ever owed you that. Shut your ass up, dummy. And before you're talking about some external thing, you got to be looking at internally. Am I doing the best I could possibly be doing? Because if you look at yourself and you honestly assess yourself and say, am I doing everything to the best of my ability? And as soon as you say no, then you got to really be honest about that and then be like, all right, so that might be a reflection of how I'm perceived by others or the opposite sex. Like, you gotta be honest. People, stuff starts with honesty. So a lot of the incel crybaby stuff is exactly that, weak crybaby stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, hey Diz, if you're still in here, let me know if you understand where I'm coming from with that. Yeah, just I'm a victim. Okay, well, so if you can assess your life and be like, I'm doing everything to the ultimate best possible level I could, and the ladies still don't like me, well, here's the thing. Pandias, do you really disagree with me? Do you disagree that real men should be assessing themselves and be like, am I doing the best I can be doing? And if I'm not, let me focus on that before I make a big, you know, screaming contest or a big pity party about what I can't get. I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, like, that's how I apply it to myself. I'm always looking to fix whatever I'm lacking in. So I'm like super hardcore in the sense that it's like, I know I can look, if I'm slacking off, I'm not learning some new skills. I get why I might not get hired for this gig. You see what I mean? Just to put it in the context of even what I'm doing right now. If I don't get this done, I mean, this is a client project, but if I don't get this done, then I won't be able to promote this brand on this new channel. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, while we're at it, let me do this. Let me do this while I'm at it. While I'm at it. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, okay. Wait. YouTube be super confusing, especially when you got multiple channels. It's like, fam, what are we doing here? Like, what channel am I actually logged into right now? All right, so, all right, I'll do it like this. Just a moment, just a moment, just a moment. Okay, I feel it. All right, so yeah, skills and resources on YouTube. So I got a new channel coming, in case y'all didn't know. Shout out to the people that's in here right now. We're taking the skills and resource thing to another level. So just even, you know, mapping out the culture of what it's gonna be like. You understand? Like, that's a big deal. Whoa. And I really want to, again, like, I think in media, I think in, you know, social experiments, social engineering, I talk about that a lot. So what we want to try, a thought experiment to do some reverse social engineering. We want to socially engineer men, starting with Black men, to think in terms of seizing power, how to be introspective and be like, what do I need to do? What do I need to improve on before I start crying about what I'm not getting from things external to me that are, of course, not owed to me? Because nothing is owed to you. See how that works? Nothing is owed to you. Pandias, we're in agreement with that. Big Pontiac, what's good? Or at least you said you disagree. You do agree that nothing in life is owed to you, right? I mean, this is pretty baseline stuff, right? So if we're gonna be men and talk real man talk, like if we're gonna talk anything Black manosphere, 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 operative keyword man. Wait a minute. We have, is it that we have too many brothers against each other, I guess? It's usually the guys who think that they are better than the next, and when you call them out for it, they often think that you're playing. I don't understand. Narratives and dialogues. I'm reading this comment right here. Looks like you got some typos in there, maybe. It's usually the guys who think that they're better than the next. Well, how do you know Unless the guy outright says, I think I'm better than the next guy. How do we know that's the case? Yeah, that's true, but not many men are playing victim. That's a sheer echo chamber talking point. Well, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not sure how long you've been around and operated in this sort of black YouTube space, but I've been rocking with this for years, and I see how this mirrors like things I'm seeing from guys in like real life, the real world. So, this is me being as objective as possible as I can about this, and I'm seeing common threads, real world, online space, and it makes sense. The majority of people in the world in general are lame, mediocre sort of people. So it makes sense that this space would attract the same, if not more, lame, mediocre people because you can just come here and be whatever you want to be. And since you can go live on your phone or StreamYard or whatever and then be somebody, all you got to do is tap into the easiest thing to talk about, and then you can be somebody and relate to other mediocre lame people. It's not that hard. So like, it's harder for exceptional people to do exceptional things. That's why they're exceptional people. Mediocre people can come in here and just say whatever. So when you find yourself in a space, a particular room, and it's a bunch of like, it's an AA meeting, everybody there is talking about their battle with some kind of addiction, right? You come here and it's like everybody's battling with their addiction for attention from women for the most part, but it's masquerading as some kind of thing where we're building men. Now, of course, part of being a man is dealing with women, but that's like a way secondary sort of thing because there's things that come beforehand before worrying about women. Hence the skills and resources discussion, and hence why, amazingly enough, this topic gets pushback because it's like, dude, nobody owes you anything. But if you're alive and you're going to call yourself a man, you're going to have some type of skills to be productive in this world and be of value in this world. And you're going to have to acquire resources. You're going to have to do that whether you have a woman or not. There's no way, like, I don't want to sound like that guy, but it's kind of like there's no way that can really be argued with. So I don't see, it's mind blowing how I could ever get pushback from that. But I actually do get it at the same time because we're talking to weak men, right? I just highlighted like how the mass majority of people and men in this space, black men in this space, are weak men. So weak men are going to hear a not weak man saying, hey, guys, sorry, you're not getting the women you think you're owed to you. It's not owed to you. So they don't want to hear that. And then they don't want to hear, well, whether you have a woman or not, you got to have some kind of skills and resources to be of value. They don't want to hear that either. And for all of that, I'm like, okay. Be a loser, fam. But again, let me make an attempt at a social engineering kind of move, and let me tap into some of the dudes that get it to the point where it's like, let's push that issue more. Like I was saying before, the thought experiment of can there be something like a Black Manosphere where it could really build for people and they could apply the things that they're building in a real world and have real world wins to the point where it's like you could talk about an online space with a source of pride. Because I don't know anybody, well, the real guys I know who make moves in the real world, who've kind of been operating in this space, are kind of like to the point of, dark sense of humor. That phrase comes to mind because it's like you got to have a dark sense of humor because there's comedy here, there's entertainment, it's all that, but it's like squandered opportunities and just nigga shit and just ratchetry and just like negativity for the most part. So it's a microcosm of the so-called Black community, right? Of course it would be that, but does it have to be that? And then when you get people coming with more positive angles, talking about more of a resourceful angle, let's turn this thing into a big resource, you get actual pushback for people who want to keep it low brow, keep it low energy. All right, let me see. That's not my kind of content field. That's not my kind of content field. And if you're talented, you have no reason to be in spaces where there's dysfunction and useless debate. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And that's kind of my point. And my point is, when I first came into this, it was thinking that it was more oriented towards some type of skill type concept. And I people will tell you for years, I never really took it serious. I just kind of engaged into some of the social discussions and whatnot. I've been in the real world building my career, doing the visual media consulting, just building up my client list. Cause it's like, okay, whatever, YouTube. I mean, I gotta be honest, the Black YouTube thing kind of was a deterrent for me to take, interacting with YouTube as a whole more seriously. And that's on me. But just like, damn, my own people who I would want to theoretically like reach out to first care more about drama and just beefing and crying about women all day. So yeah, so narrative dialogues. If you take what I'm saying, then turn it into, well, if you're talented, you have no reason to be in spaces where there's dysfunction. Well, in the real world where I live, where I'm from, Oakland, California, here, there's dysfunction in whatever. And I'm definitely talented. So I mean, it's an oversimplification to just say it that way. So I don't know. It's almost like you're saying it for the sake of, I don't know, just trying to be right or whatever, or like trying to make me be wrong. But without a doubt, objectively, if you look at the mass of content from Black manosphere adjacent channels, it is by and large talking about women or talking ultimately about something external to yourself that you don't have, or how that thing you don't have is not behaving how you want it to. You're not getting the outcomes you want from something external to yourself. Far more of that and far less discussion about what you're doing to better yourself. And that's an interesting dilemma. So I look at it in the sense of, is there a way I can capitalize off that while still providing something that's of actual benefit? So that's getting me into the whole skills and resources thing. And as I move forward with that, people are telling me, oh, I like that phrase. I like that tagline. I like where you're going with that. I like that energy. Now, this comes from men and women, which is an interesting discussion, right? Because what happens when women are like, yeah, I like the skills and resources thing. Sexy Red TV, some comments, she's been doing it lately. Skills and resources is sexy. I'm like, well, that's an interesting thing. So maybe some of these dudes who are so wrapped up in what women think and validation from women in a roundabout way will care more about actually having skills and resources, which should be the default. Maybe they'll care more about that if they hear a woman say they care more about that. Which I'm definitely not of, don't self-improve just for the validation of women, but apparently you got to meet people where they're at. So I'm not quite that good at meeting people where they're at. Wait, first listen, you cold, but I know what you just said now is right. Like minds, tend to find each other. I guess that's what you're saying. Y'all spelling and punctuation leaves something to be desired. Just saying. Gene says the skills and resources topic has become a title topic instead of a viewable content with viewable results. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Gene. Please expand on that. The skills and resources topic has become a title topic instead of viewable content with viewable results. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I would love to hear more about that. Yes, sir. I know exactly where you're coming from about the real world. I'm in it right in SF, not into the echo chambers of YouTube dysfunction and dudes who are here to divide if we're here to build. Yeah, okay. So we're basically saying the same thing then. So if you're hearing me out, I don't know how much of, my content you've heard and sort of my whole position with the skills and resources thing and kind of where I fall in what a YouTuber said that, Manosphere rejects. Myself, who else? It was Super Sly and somebody else, or Manosphere rejects. Shout out to the rejects. I've been saying that a long time ago. There's guys who was saying like, AM1, if you want to talk more skills and resources than just crying about women that we don't have, the black woman this, the black woman that, some kind of gender war gynocracy thing. It's like, I don't wake up in the morning thinking about what woman is fighting me or what woman got her boot on my neck. Like, because no woman has their boot on my neck. No woman is controlling my mind like that. So I don't wake up thinking about how I'm fighting women. So I can't relate to that. So it makes me think, that's weird. And then I hear black men in real life, like saying kind of things. And, I'm here in Oakland, right? So it's super duper woke. Narratives and dialogues. If you're in SF, we behind woke enemy lines, unless you're a part of that. So I hope not. But yeah, the whole woke agenda where it's like black men are being effeminized and you need to be more in touch with your emotions and black woman is God and you need to low-key emasculate yourself to show that black women are equal to you and more respect and blah blah blah. It's like so much like social engineered woke foolishness. It's very hard to like talk on this and still be flying through After Effects. But this will be kind of chat / tutorial, so we'll make it work. We'll make it work. If you got any questions about what I'm doing on After Effects, please super chat your questions. As long as skills and resources are sexy off rip and not ladder in life. Well, that's man, you raise an interesting question. So I'm brainstorming right now how I want to move forward with this new channel because I want to see if I can gather / garner the attention of some of these guys. Basically, can I wake up some of these normie mind controlled drones whose only focus in life is seeking validation from women? Is there a way we can create a movement where dudes are like actually being real men out here? That's essentially what I'm trying to pull off. Can we do that? That's the social experiment. That's the social experiment. What's going on here? What the hell? Hold on, I'm trying to do something right here. Hold on 1 second. All right, so let me see. I'm trying to drop this link in here for y'all and then see if I can pin it. Skills and Resources channel. Pin comment. So yeah, y'all can peep that. Go sub to that. So what I'm about, if I can get to it, my guy Nick, the big homie Nick in the building. All right, let me get back over to StreamYard now that I pinned that in. As long as skills and resources are sexy off rip and not later in life. Oh, you're saying that jokingly, right? I mean, that's kind of like what it is, right? Creative Mind was good. The coach that I mentioned, who's the coach that I mentioned? All right, got him all over the place in the comments. The assumptions that men here are talentless and have nothing. I'm already in the top 9% of income. So, Payne Diaz, that's great. If that's the case and that's true, that's great. All I'm saying is, if you've been around here, you know that there's dudes in here who are working like bottom of the barrel kind of jobs. And, shout out to whatever guys are doing. But there's guys whose money situation really ain't popping. Guys whose health situation, whose body shape situation, just overall attributes that you would attribute to a man are not really popping, but they got a whole lot to say about what women they're not pulling into their lives. That's crazy talk because you're not owed that. So I'm not making any assumptions at all. I'm not saying all the men are talentless or have nothing. I'm saying that I've directly been hit up by young guys who said, hey, let me talk to you on the phone directly. Can I buy some of your time? Who told me, yeah, they live with their parents. They got part-time jobs. They just got laid off. But, how should I approach this girl to get some box? What should I say to her? I've had dudes say that to me while they got me on the phone and could talk to me about like, hey, how could I get into a career doing visual media work? So I'm, open to talk about whatever, but I'm saying, so this is like a real life situation. I've had dudes hit me with this over the years. So I'm like, wow. And obviously, these are guys who have heard me talk online, so they feel like they know me to a certain degree, but I've never met them in person. And, guys in their early 20s, bro, I'm 44. I'm like, fam, I could be your dad. You see what I'm saying? So seeing that trajectory where it goes, it's like, ooh, we got a lot of lost young men out here. So Payne Diaz, like, you are aware that we got a lot of y'all lost young men out here. Or do you care? Or are we honest about that? Like, if we're honest about that, then we got to understand, like, that's not a good look. If we care about some kind of overall black male image, right, or brand or whatever, I actually do care, but also look at it from the standpoint of like, hey, can I offer something of value to the world and profit from it to the degree where I can amass more resources and reinvest those resources to create more of a buffer for financial independence? That's it. Shout out to Creative Mind for the $5 super chat. Always supporting. I super appreciate anybody supporting. Barry Duncan and Z all the way from down under in New Zealand. Barry, does New Zealand count as down under like Australia does? I know you guys are the Kiwis down under. What is it? What is it? Hold on, let me handle something here. I'm getting these comments more. Nick Taylor is in the building. Also, maybe more freedom convo, living in free spaces off grid, semi off grid, land ownership development growing for. Oh no, that's happening. That's going to be on the Freedom Only channel. So we're pushing more on skills and resources than we're doing Freedom Only as well. And then we're going to do more AM1 Creates content. So I got my 3 sort of in-house IP brands. And we're going to be pushing content out that's applicable to each one. And some of them will crisscross and overlap, but that's definitely how we're going to do it, bro. So you already know. Bro, hit me up so we can chop it up. You already know. I'm talking to Warriors Dream specifically. And shout out to that Cash App you hit me with the other day. Or the was that a Cash App? I think it was Cash App. I think you hit me with a Cash App the other day. I super appreciate that, bro. What the hell? All right, let me handle something real quick. All right. I'm not making a lot of progress in this After Effects thing because y'all want to talk. That's fine. I appreciate that. Either way, I was going to let it go where it goes. Also, you said I film right in the back of your yard. You mean in my backyard? Narratives and dialogues. English is not your first language, is it? I'm not saying that to roast you, but I'm just making an observation. I'm halfway clowning. Don't take it all personal. So see, here's the thing. Let's see. Apologies for my earlier text. Shorthand typing. My thoughts are along the lines with Gene. No hate. But do try to protect yourself from becoming like the people you speak of. So what do you mean by that? Like I'm better than someone? Well, think about it this way. There are aspects of life that are competitive, right? There are aspects of life that are predatory, right? So predation, competition, those kind of things start to overlap into the concept of better, right? So there's this weird thing where it's like men can't talk about what's better or not better or who's gonna make somebody feel some kind of way if they're think they're better. You see what I mean? Like if the man standing next to me thinks he's better than me, whatever. As long as he's not doing anything to like hinder my ability to move freely in the world, you could think whatever you want. Why do I care what this guy thinks? But if he thinks he's better than me and he can demonstrate why he's better than me, and I can be honest about that and say, damn, dude is better at this thing or that thing or just a few different things, then isn't it smarter for me to be like, well, what is he doing? How you do that there? You see what I'm saying? Like, doesn't that make more sense? If we're talking about the someone acting like they're better thing, like that's the weird thing. Vari, I appreciate the sub. Case in point, you're making videos showing how to use a skill using acquired resources, Mac and Adobe to create a product outcome. Maybe I missed something Gene said. Let me see. Gene, did I miss something that you said, sir? I don't want to go too far back up, but let me see. All right, I'll go down. Oh, wait, I saw Gene's comment. Let me see. I ain't trying to be that guy, but maybe if you want something extra stand out, maybe super chat. Maybe. Just maybe. Just maybe. Hey, I look, for real, y'all know, people know me for a while. No, I'm like, hey, if you're going to do the online entertainment thing and rock with these people online, these spaces, at least try to maybe, I'm not trying to like, dirty Mac other creators, but it's like make sure you're showing the support to people who have a proven track record of trying to put something out positive and that's rooted in real world skills that can have real world impact. Because what do they say? You're a reflection of the 5 people around you, and you know, obviously you're an extension of the type of content you consume, the things you consume from your food. You are what you eat, you are what you listen to, you are what you hear, right? So it's a good idea to support people who are trying to say things to you that are really aimed at, you know, improvement, right? You should support that versus yeah, the these black women, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I feel the same way. Here, take my money because you made me feel good because I resonate with that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's that, but then there's also, hey, fam, yeah, women be crazy out here. What are you gonna do? Here's what I did. I hope you can take some of that or some pages out of my book on some level of inspiration, or outright, if you want to learn After Effects or Premiere, holler at me. If I get enough people in this short amount of time saying they want to learn Premiere, After Effects, I will no doubt crack open a whole channel and whatever, and have sessions and teach people. Shout out to the Gene for the $10 super chat. Keep up with the chat. I didn't know how this was gonna go because I'm sitting on skills and resources right here. After Effects for a minute. I just bounced this over. Hold on, let me get back into this. So I took what I got going on right here and just beamed it over into After Effects. Now that I got it in After Effects, I can do some things. Okay. So let me do some things so you guys can see. So first of all, we got skills and resources. Hold on. I'm trying to see what I can do. Go to the chat. I got to interact with you guys in the chat if you guys are asking me questions, and I want this to be interactive. Like, the whole thing is, I want the people who are there. There's already a trend, right? People are grasping at anything they can do. Let's hold on to Passport Bros as long as we can. Let's hold on to the next beef thing. Women in the space. Just pearly things. And I get it. Who's beefing this week? What content creator is doing blah blah blah, right? So it's like, black neighborhood fuckery, but on the YouTube streets, right? And I get it. What thing happened in the mainstream surrounding black folks to where, and I get it, and I've done it myself. Willie D talked about the Manosphere. I was like, let me holler at that, right? Because my wheelhouse is analyzing mainstream media's social engineering tactics and whatnot. That's like literally just how my brain works relative to the kind of work I do, because I've studied this stuff. Okay. This topic gets tossed because everyone likes talking about instead of taking action and producing content. Trying to reach out and talk about what needs to happen has no impact with niggas. But no, here's the thing. And like I said, the vast majority of people in this world are lame and mediocre. So the vast majority of people in this space are lame and mediocre. The idea is to reach out and impact the small amount of people who do. And I get the game of that. But I'll argue that the people who are here right now clearly see value in what I talk about and what I do, are engaging with me. People dropping super chats, I super appreciate that. So I totally get, like, hey, if I fired up this stream and said Passport Bros versus Keisha blah blah blah, you see what I'm saying? There'll be more people in here. So I get what I'm dealing with, and that's why I said earlier the idea of like meeting people where they are. But what I have in mind for the skills and resources discussion is going to be very interesting, because it is going to be some social experiment elements where I'm going to be able to show guys like, hey, if female validation is all you care about, I'm going to prove to you that you're going to have to do some form of skills, resource, self-improvement before you're seen as viable, even by the women that you cry about, right? So I'm basically going to back dudes into a corner. And the petty side of me just laughs at that immediately. Immediately. All right, let me try to catch up with the comments. Ross's reality with the $2 super chat. I super appreciate that. Okay, Barry says we're called down under 2. Okay, just checking. AZ Tech, you've been AM1 since I came across. Oh, been AM1 since I came across your channel years ago. Same solid message. AZ Tech, bro, I know you've been around, man. You know what it is. It's been the same thing. Like, at least I'm consistent. Okay, AM1. Hey, trying to get women while you laid off is whack. Right. But the women do not mind if the guy meets the specs. Yeah, that's true. But there's no way you guaranteed that, and there's no way you want to not meet the specs. There are women who will smash a broke dude. Yes, we know this. But then it begs the question: do you want a woman who would smash a broke dude? Right? If a bad ass chick was like, you know what, I'm trying to smash you, but yesterday I was just with some broke, dusty dude. Would you even want to smash? I mean, think it through. Really think it through. I know what you're gonna say. That's an obvious general rhetorical question. All right, what are you not catching up to the comments? That's the issue. I mean, I low-key want to just jump down to the bottom and then push back up. Damn, I'm way behind. All right. All right. Creative Mind with another $5 super chat. Skills Resources Fuego. Appreciate it. All right. I'm trying to catch up. Club Fortune in the building. My guy. All right. Creative Mind says your exceptionally high quality production, graphics, and photographic content complements the opto lens with a reference it deserves. It's deserve. Wait, so you throw me off there, Creative Mind. With a very poetically written sentence there, but then it broke up there with the kind of a stickler for like the tenses and all the conjugations. But you're bilingual though, so I'll let it slide. I'm trying to learn Spanish. Teach me Spanish. He's not listening, Gene. Hold on. What, Gene? Okay, let me see. AM1, okay, I will bite. As a graphic designer, what is your opinion on open source graphics applications? Are they acceptable for professional work? Okay. So we're gonna get a straight on a question like that. Yeah, man. The whole thing of what you're using. All right, there's a few ways to answer that question. The platform doesn't matter but the platform doesn't matter. Like platform meaning whatever you're using to design your output. So if you're a videographer, you're editing, right? You're doing graphic design, so that's more like Illustrator or Photoshop, whatever, Canva, whatever. Whatever it is, whatever the platform, doesn't really matter. It's about the output. Does it work? Is your client happy? Does it draw the eyeballs you want? Beyond that, it doesn't matter, except for the asterisk caveat with that is this. What becomes the challenge is if you're trying to work with other people, other editors, where if I build something in Premiere, or one of my clients, we're working on a project, because this is happening right now. One of my guys is working on a project in Premiere. He's doing his edit, he's doing his rounds of edits. And then he's gonna send what he does over to me. And then I'm gonna go back in and chop up the B-roll. Now this is all footage that like I shot. He's doing some edits on it, then I go back and edit the B-roll. He's working in Premiere. I'm working in Premiere. Now, if he's working into some other platform, some other open source platform, whatever it is, then now we got an issue because I can't open up his project files immediately because I'm working in a different interface. That ultimately is the only reason why it matters. So like even Canva is not considered professional really, but I mean, people use it for professional careers, but it's not the same. Obviously it's like Photoshop. Now, I'm not sure all the functionalities of Canva, but my understanding is that at least you can export things out maybe as like a Photoshop file. So to make it pretty interchangeable, because these companies know who the big dogs are. And in theory, you want to make it be interchangeable to some degree. But it's like if somebody's back to video editing, working on editing in DaVinci Resolve versus Final Cut Pro versus Premiere, that's kind of going to be a problem. Now there's ways around that, but you know, just as a general way to answer your question, it ultimately doesn't matter unless you're working in some kind of team situation where you got to hand it off. Major Pay Ideas, I hope that answers your question. If so, support the show. All right, what else we got? Typo, my voice text is affecting some parts of the sentence. Okay, I feel it. Gene, keep up with the chat. Exactly, Gene. I know, right? You're skipping them. Yeah. My English is my first language. You only get one part of the message. Well, just reading your broken English in the messages, sir. I get it too, because I be slacking on punctuation and whatnot too. But then, when I'm trying to read it, and it's like, dang. All right, let me see. Process realities again. Much appreciated on $2 super chat. So I'm going up. I'm trying to miss anything I catch that I didn't catch up, and then I can get more into animating this. Because I'm not sure what I want to do with this skills and resources logo thing right here. Not sure exactly what I want to do with it, but we gonna see. I'm just looking at the comments right now. Y'all supporting with super chat, so it's I'll wait till you guys interact and whatnot, and this whole thing can be secondary. I use Premiere Pro and many other programs. Yeah, me too. I mean, mostly Adobe stuff, but I'm about to get more into DaVinci Resolve for sure. Opto means vision, creative. Okay. With a reverence it deserves. Yeah, no, I understood what you were saying. Creative mind, just kind of messing with you. Stable diffusion progression is eating up Photoshop and After Effects. AI progression is on a rocket. New adoption and cycles are starting. Women are an afterthought for this 2-year window cycle. I mean, that's the last part of that I agree with, just in general. And now I'm interested in where the trajectory of things are going to go relative to AI. I mean, it's kind of wild to me. I know like people in certain levels of creative fields who are like rocking with AI and kind of rooting for it. And I'm like, you do realize that sooner or later going to take your job away, right? And you're like, well, but it's cool and get down with it however you can. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's still going to take away the job you're doing now. And then what are you going to be doing? Like AI only goes one way, less jobs. That's where it goes, right? So you could think, well, unless you become some prompt developer who's developing these AI systems, it's gonna come from most other jobs, right? So unless there's a reverence for actual art made by real humans, I'm betting on / banking on that there's going to be a shift back to more real art and real things. Like the medical industry is going to collapse very soon. I'm banking on it. I got my fingers crossed, hoping. AZ Tech hit me with a Cash App. I appreciate that. 10 on the Cash App from AZ Tech. I appreciate that, man. Super duper appreciate that. And then I see the $10 super chat from the live stream from Warriors Dream. I appreciate that too. All right, so stable diffusion. Interesting. All right, so images. Let me get back to this a little bit, see what I can see here. Skills and resources. I got some images, pattern clips. Bring that in there. So I'm just grabbing this stuff from here. I got like a whole folder with images and just different things, like everything within this brand file build. So just certain things, all of the things needed for the skills and resources design build. So just trying to be tidy over here. Image folder. So I got this clip thing right here. Throw that down right there. Okay. Oh, and I made it hella big too. So scale. So I hit S for scale. 33. Should bring it down a third. It's still hella big, so that's cool. But I wanted it big like that. But now let me see. Oh, I'll do that now. So just kind of save it there and then put it in the folder with everything else, skills and resources. I'll make another folder in here and call it motion, because this will be motion graphics. So then I got the motion project. SXR is what I use for skills and resources. Motion. Skills and resources motion is saved inside of skills and resources motion. It's all in the same folder. Cool. Well, it says motion, but that's fine. And then let's get some other texture things. I want to have some paper texture set up with this, but let me see. Paper texture. I got like crumpled paper textures, burnt paper textures. That's interesting. Let's see. I'm going through this off screen. You guys can see it, but I'll bring it up here. This is interesting. I haven't really messed with these. I have so many of these different files and things. Watch. Uh, all right, see, that's why I want to bring it over there. Hold on, I can't see the chat right now, but I'm gonna come back in a second, see what y'all saying, so y'all can sidetrack me a little more. It's all good though. Oh, let's play with this stuff. We're just gonna have fun with it. See, but what if it's burnt? Is there something we can do with this burnt ass paper situation? What can we do with that? That's not quite what I wanted, but let me see. I'm trying to like not look at the chat. If y'all super chat, I'm gonna miss it. But hold on, because I want to go in the chat. If y'all got any questions, if y'all got direct questions, consider super chat so they stand out. I'm gonna be behind the chat once again. I'm trying to multitask it. Lo siento, papi. No less than 8 languages in. I heard that. Polyglot style. I heard that. I try to keep it simple with my thoughts, but I make mistakes in typing. I can imagine with 8 languages on deck. Jeez. Wait, so Creative Mind, what's your first language? Spanish, your first language? C. I like to use DaVinci Resolve, says Nick. They don't cross over. Is DaVinci Resolve open source? I think it might be. Is Keep It Techie in here? The font for the skills and resources is ugly. Well, here's the thing. I agree, but the idea was to use a font that approximates the type of text that you see on money. So it's not the exact, obviously, but it's similar to that. That's where I was going with it. But I mean, thanks for your opinion. But I agree. I want it to be something different too, so I'm not sure. We might go a different direction with it. But at least if you kind of understand, I'm relating the skills and resources point to money, because money is like the ubiquitous thing to where it's like, we want to talk about money is ultimately an analog for resources, right? So I'm making this look more money oriented, but when I think of skills and resources, really I'm thinking about more community building, just having skills, real skills like farming, gardening, woodworking, ironworking, like construction. Those are the real skills I'm talking about. Like even this digital visual media stuff that I'm doing is like blah blah blah. Like, right, this is me, my livelihood, my career. But I can be honest enough to say this is all whatever, because in a worst case scenario, some kind of like knock back to the Stone Ages, power grid down, none of this stuff is going to matter. What difference does it make if I got camera video editing skills if there's no energy to even power up a laptop or to charge a battery for a camera? This is not even real world skills. You see what I'm saying? It is now, but worst case scenario, it's only going to be so helpful. So this is, again, it's an analog for anyone cannot focus, right? Doing a lot. Gene, do you have a channel? Words Dream. See, Words Dream says, nah, the font makes complete sense. Well, Payne Diaz, now that you have a better idea of kind of the thought process and associations with it, what do you think about the font? Because you guys see how I'm making it look like a play on how the fonts used in a lot of currencies look, right? Oh, my bad. I'm on my phone. On your phone, like, oh no, DaVinci Resolve is not open source. Okay. Never used Vegas, but had a buddy of mine. He's on Adobe right now, but he's switching to Resolve. Yeah, I used Sony Vegas Pro years ago. That was one of the first things I used for solid video editing. Whereas Dream said, facts. I wish I had taken up carpentry or masonry like 10 years ago. Just to have that skill set. Yeah, exactly. I really want to learn welding. I don't like some programs that are difficult. Well, yeah, that's the idea. Some are difficult unnecessarily. I mean, some are difficult because they just have to be. Like After Effects is technically difficult because it's just tedious, but it's just so many layers and things you can do with it. So I get it. Like, jeez, I was today years old when I learned something else. It's always something. I understand your logic with the font, but I still do not like it in general. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like I had some whole original ideas and different thought processes on what I wanted to do logo wise, like how I wanted to represent this. I'm still, again, still thinking about it, but at least with that, you understand kind of where I was going with that. Just kind of mess around with this burnt thing, because then we get into these like blend modes and whatnot. Modes. I'm not sure how well you guys can see what those different things are doing. Went to school to be a designer for menswear. Oh, that's interesting. Being a story writer and filmmaker, I have a master's in criminology. I used to be in law enforcement. What? So, narratives and dialogues, you are a story writer and filmmaker, and you have a master's in criminology. English and Spanish was the first language when I was young. My grandfather took care of me. He spoke English, but my abuela spoke Espanol. A babysitter on the weekend spoke Italian, so I was 3 in before age 8. Nice. Second master's at SF State in MFA. Really? Okay, that's what's up. Everybody throwing their credentials around. I have 0 degrees. So now my self-esteem just dropped off a cliff. Cause I don't have no degrees or nothing. Guess how much I'm concerned about that. All fine and well, as long as you can do something with that ish, is what I'm thinking. Not hating at all, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking. I know people with degrees that they're not using at all. That's all I'm saying. So I just hope that they're applying in some sort of way. All right, so I got that paper texture thing. Let me see what that do. I mean, I'm just getting ahead of myself with this anyway, but just kind of messing around. Opacity, bring that down. I really just need like a paper texture. Let's use this one. It's this old. Oh, wait a minute. See how this works. I was trying to give it like a foundation to kind of sit on. Ah, see, now we're getting somewhere. Kind of like that. All right, let's see what y'all talking about. I have 0 degrees, but I know a little something, something. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. NOLA, that's what's up. I got family in Berlin. You okay with me aiming 1 degrees or not? But thanks. Simi is in the building. Hola. All right, so y'all not asking direct questions now, so I can just kind of keep focusing and building on this. Okay, so the dream. I put that away a month ago filming. Oh, you was in New Orleans filming? I got my undergrad at Southern University. Damn, you just been at hella schools. You just been like, what's the deal? You just at a gang of schools everywhere. He's super degreed up. And I'm just curious to mess around. I never messed around with this burn thing really. So yeah, I got some really interesting ideas of what I'm gonna do with this channel. Definitely featuring some like up and coming businesses and whatnot. Definitely want to, and I want to do this in a way where it's like actually going out and filming on location. So we're talking like a reality TV show style, pulling up on different entrepreneurs, and then even doing like live events, kind of on some like live mixer event type setups. And then maybe definitely doing one-on-ones with different entrepreneurs in a mixer event setting, and then panel discussions. But really, I definitely want to add this sort of relationship dynamic discussion in it, right? Because I want to keep people hip to the game that, yeah, this whole discussion the skills and resources topic is born from this Black YouTube, Black Manosphere thing. And my, how should I say, my thoughts about it, the areas I feel are lacking. Creative mind, you're doing great. So you're gonna have to burn through the paper. Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of messing around with it. I'm trying to find this other drive. I have a like this. I'm about to get another one, but I have this 128 gig flash drive. It's super small, and I have like all these extra textures and things loaded up on it. Basically, just these resources that I use. So I just had to find that and plug that in. But I'm about to get a terabyte one. So the super small thumb drives, but a terabyte, where I could have like sound effects and just all kind of different like textures and different things, kind of just chilling on that at all times. All right, so let me do BG actual background. So I just made the black background BG, but then I just pull that to the bottom. So everything's behind that. So then let me just turn everything off for now because that's up there. Put that there. So paper is right above that. Wait, I got two different paper things. Oh, so there's the actual paper. So there's the black background, then this paper that has some transparency on it. That's down to 20. And let me see, because I might even do this. Oh, and that's hella big too. Scale, bring that down so we see how big that really was. And that's transparent as well. That's how it really looks. But it's the same color kind of as the skills and resources thing. It doesn't have to be this color. It can be white. Change that, but I kind of worry about it later. All right. But maybe I'll take this and color, bam. So basically I can use that to just desaturate it. Just kind of make it black and white because I can kind of mess with the color later. Just kind of bring it down some. Still deciding what I want to do with it though. Just having fun with it while I chop it up with y'all. See. You need multiple SSDs. Man, if I showed you just right now alone on my desk, I have 3 memory cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multi-terabyte solid state hard drives right on my desk in front of me right now. Then I got this pouch with like probably like 10 more of them. This is way too out of control. Terabytes are so slow opening. Depends on your system. A terabyte would be great to use. Yeah, I mean, you just have that much more storage space. Educated. Oh, wait, what was that? Yes, sir. Educated, but not lame. I enjoy Pookies because they're realist and don't know. And don't know complaining dudes who complain about them on YouTube even exist. Did a documentary about it. That's interesting. Where can that documentary be seen? That's interesting. Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of people in general don't realize that certain discussions are happening online, but it's weird because we get this bleed through. Like even like Manosphere guys talk about, well, we're making progress getting our Manosphere message about whatever that might be because it changes every week. But they see it as some kind of win when guys in the real world are using like sort of fake so-called red pill talking points to like shame women into doing whatever. It's kind of a weird discussion. Memory cards. Where is the network attached storage? Yeah, no, I'm not doing it like that. Or use a power tower to save some space. Power tower. Yeah, it's the crying dudes online, policing them for the women who have turned them down. Yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I'm using the MacBook Air, so it's like I don't even have that many outputs. So having all these different things to plug in is kind of wild. It already has this, I hate saying the word, but this peripheral plug-in piece, a dongle. I hate the dongle for it. It just sounds Hey, do you got a dongle I could use? I had a dongle I can plug in. On my channels, the Pookies and Ray Rays. Is there a place for us? DJ Kuda is in it. Shout out to DJ Kuda. All right, let me see. All right, let me see. Hold on, because I know I'm taking a quick break to go look at narratives and dialogues for whatever reason. All right, let's just do this other way. I'm trying to find your channel, man. Hold on, let me see something here.
See, where's Nick at? Nick didn't even tell me that I wasn't using the right mic. See, people let me just hold L's out here. Sheep stay sleep is in it. Damn. Where you like pulling up on people directly? Yeah, I got the MacBook Air with the M1. I had this for a while. It's been rocking. With After Effects? Yeah, no, like the M1 chip handles After Effects nicely. I was blown away. The new Apple chip has changed the game. Yeah, big facts. Oh, so wait a minute now. Pandy is saying, get off the pro Pookie nonsense. How come these real knuckles can't not alpha their way onto George Zimmerman? Wow, that's hella funny. Okay. Okay, I see it. Yeah, and I'm already subscribed to it, so... Oh. Oh, Pookie's Ray Rays. All right, I'm about to save that to watch later right now. Save to watch later. Wait, narratives and dialogues. This you one of your videos from a year ago on a beach with a mask on? You've been in San Francisco way too long if that's the case. They got you wrapped up in the wokeness. Are you from the Bay? Fam, you go get roasted by me if I see you rocking a mask, especially out in nature. When Apple designs their laptops, they consult designers, engineers, and graphics folks. Well, yeah. Don't know yet what narratives and dialogue. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wow, jumping around. Carrie D, what's good? I have a clip from last February when you was on our AM1 that might be in part 2. Oh, so it's a documentary like compiled of different people on YouTube, or you pulled up on them in person? No mask anymore. Yeah, but unfortunately, you have footage of yourself that you filmed wearing a mask. So I say go delete all of those files. You never want that etched in the history that you capitulated to the mask foolishness. You don't ever want evidence that you willingly did that, especially out in nature. That you got fooled and hoaxed into covering your airways. Yeah, you got to hold that L, sir. Respectfully. Anybody here who's done that? Club Fortune. I think a lot of people need to find and be honest with themselves before they push elsewhere. Now you guys got a Canis Lupus was good. You guys got a side discussion going on. Club Fortune Veritas. People are finding themselves. I just started traversing these YouTube streets. Other than that, I currently study political science, international studies, took a small break from biogenetic. You just creative mind is trying to be one of them strong, independent, educated women's who don't need no man. I'm strong and independent and educated. Where's the good men? Credit solution is experience in the building. Some in person. Okay, that's dope. Narrative and dialogues on documentary. Some in person. Bob is in the building. BOB. Say it both. Say it forwards and backwards. In my job, there's still people who wear masks. Are they choosing to wear the masks? Or are they being made to wear the mask by the employers? Now, something to be said for if your job is making you do that, it's your livelihood. That's a cold game. That sucks. I say try to get a new job. That's part of the skills and resources part too, because it's freedom orientation to the degree where you recognize, like, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too, stuck in convenience. It's convenient to work a job and they pay you every 2 weeks and you pretty much ain't got to worry about it. You can get by just doing a bare minimum. But that's a slippery slope, because then they say you have to cover your airways doing something totally unnatural, or try to force you to take, experimental injections. So you force you to be a part of a human experimentation campaign. So skills and resources is just solutions, more of that. Basically more freedom. Skills and resources equal more options. That's essentially where we're going with this. So I'm way ahead of the game to that point where it's like, yeah. People still just stuck majoring in minors, worried about women don't like me. Ugh. I'm so sick of these stupid masks. Folks walking around outside wearing them and driving cars wearing them too. Yeah, driving a car by yourself with a mask on. It's like, but I'm trusting the science. Fauci told me so. I'm trusting the science. Well, what happens when they do more metadata mask studies that show that masks don't have any ability or show no significant ability to lower the infectiousness of a so-called virus? Well, I still just think, what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people just said, well, I'm going to override the science then. First, you're a bad person for not trusting the science and believing what some government person told you. Then when the narrative changes, then it's like, well, now aren't you going to change now? Like, there was people who was like, we all need to be wearing masks everywhere we go. And then when they said, all right, well, the mask mandates are lifted, then there's people that's mad. That's like, no, we want the mask. It's like, well, wait a minute. The experts told you don't need to wear them anymore. Do you care about the experts? So what is going on here? Bob said they're choosing to wear it. So yeah, that's the people who aren't trusting the science, right? Again, this falls under this mass mind control, mass media mind control falls into the skills and resources part. Having skills of discernment to know when you're being played by a rogue government that's colluding with big multinational corporations. That's a skill. We're required to wear them in healthcare, but so many of us are non-compliant that they don't enforce it anymore. Great. That's real people basically saying, no, we're going to be real people. Yeah, creative mind, I was just joking. Peace to all the gods. I appreciate the architects of the world. I need them. Yeah, buddy. All right. I didn't want to get too far into the mask thing, but let me see. All right, let's go back to the skills and resources. All right, so I got the money pattern thing. I got the paper pattern. Then I got this other, well, I guess I don't need the crumple paper pattern if I already have that other one. But let me see. I'll use the background, duplicate the background, change the background color. Let's see what happens here. It's kind of a tricky situation because I don't want to quite do it like that. Okay, I know what I might do. Do it like this for now. so many like options and different things you could try with this. That's what makes it way crazy. She hates me is in the building. She hates me. Please act right. Club Fortune says, I despise those mask mandates. Before I moved to a different city, I made it a point to work out in Indiana to avoid that stupid mask mandate. I heard that. Wait, nor does it work for an independent black man like myself. What was that? I missed part of the discussion. Okay, y'all got a whole other discussion going on. Oh, I see what was going on. Man, that takes time. I hope you outsource to someone just as good as you to do the job, can get done. You can do other projects. Well, that's kind of the thing. Like, it's not quite that simple because a lot of people will just try to use templates. And I like to build stuff in After Effects from scratch, just so it's super unique, so nobody can like replicate it. But I mean, sometimes it just, you know, it's not that serious. It just kind of depends. But I mean, most of the people that I work with in the Bay, like videographers, don't get into After Effects. Like most videographers don't do After Effects also. Like I legit do all of it. Yeah, narratives and dialogues. Do you use After Effects or no? I'm really not sure what I wanted to do with this. I had some ideas of what I wanted to do with this, but let me see. I kind of wanted to mess with some flares. All right, let me just go back to this. Yeah, I kind of want to mess with that too. All right, let me see. That's how it be though. It bees like that. All right, no, I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm just gonna go back to this. Yeah, because it looks, man, when I first cracked open After Effects, I legit didn't rock it out for like a year. I first really was looking at it in 15 and it wasn't into, or 14 maybe. It wasn't until, yeah, I guess more into 2015 when I really started messing with it more. What is going on? What is Nick talking about? Nick and Carrie going at it, beefing in my chat. They about to fight. They about to fight. Gene says, I use After Effects in Motion for a few projects back in 2011. I outsourced for that part if it's really important. Yeah, no, hit me up because I like After Effects. I like building stuff from scratch. So for me, and plus it's like advanced my career greatly, being willing and able to do what most won't. So, you know, for the videographers, it's like, nah, I don't get into After Effects. I'm like, yeah, great. Yeah, good. Keep that energy. Keep that same energy. Yeah, please do. Keep that same energy. All right, let's see. Damn, a little big. And then I'm gonna take this and make that 3D, push that back by like 500. I'll play around with a little depth, put a camera in here, see what happens, because I can make this like 3D camera thing, so it does a simulated 3D, but these are 2D images. Whoa, that just changed everything. All right, let me go to 24 millimeter simulation of what a 24 millimeter camera would do. 24 thanks. Okay. So now with the camera set up, put that right there. What is this? I think I'm gonna start getting rid of stuff. All right, I will keep that because I might need that later. The burn can get out of there. The other skills and resources can get out of there. That can get out of there. What is this? That other burnt paper thing. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna get that out of there too. Trying to clean it up, keep it simple. And the equipment, wait. I definitely would keep you paid, especially if you do a good job and it's not gimmicky. There are too many dudes in the Bay Area that feel you should pay them a high price just because they have the equipment, but they're not talented. Yeah, no, I mean, it has to look right, obviously. I mean, it just kind of depends on the projects you narratives and dialogues. Look at my IG. You'll see some of my stuff on there. Ammo creates on IG. You'll see some of our projects. I mean, there's so many layers and dynamics, like just within, under the umbrella of motion graphics. It's just crazy in and of itself, as you probably know. All right, how far out is that? So I'll go negative 500. Down. All right, so since I put the camera in here now, I get to play around with these different angles like this. Wait, let me see. Oh, that's crazy. That's kind of dope. Hold on, let me see. Just like less is more. I got you. I'll follow you. Remember, you gave me a critique on my trailer, and oh yeah, I do remember. I remember. And I told you it was the dated style I was looking for. Yep, I do remember. Yeah, as soon as I looked back at your page, I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I don't follow trends or people. Got my own style. There's a give and take to that because there's something with. It's a tricky thing, right? Like, be current, but then intentionally maybe do something that's throwback. There's an interesting discussion that goes with that, and it never ends. But yeah, following your own style for sure, but then it has to be kind of like on par with kind of what we're seeing across the landscape, because then somebody could say, well, my style is looking pretty janky, but that's just my style. When you get into certain just subjectivity, then it's kind of like, well, yeah, a piece of shit is a piece of art. Come to my art showing. It's really interesting and deep and earthy. You go there and it's just literal like freeze-dried turds with dope lighting on them. And then it's like, yeah, it's my art piece, or shit smeared on a canvas. It's art. It's called, the art show is called From Within Me. You know, like it's a bougie art scene type people. And it's like anything flies because you just get to call it art. It's like, nah, fam, no. But right, anything gets to fly just because it's subjective. I have people who really like what I do and I can't stand boring. Yeah, no, that's what's up. That's what I mean. That's what I'll say. Ultimately, somebody asked me earlier about different platforms. Just like, man, use whatever works. As long as it works, that's all that matters. Use what works. All right, let's see. I love how I'm like not getting anywhere with this. Okay. All right, let me just reset this again. All of that, and then it's animated. It just moves in. Yeah, hippies be lying about their art should be garbage. Right, exactly. Anything flies. At the end of the day, The question is, does your style and taste have a demand in the market? Straight gems. That's what it boils down to. That's where the rubber meets the road. I agree. Trump going to jail on Tuesday. I mean, supposedly he's saying that he's going to be arrested on Tuesday. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust anything he's saying. I mean, I think that he's a part of the whole grand scheme of foolishness that's been going on in this world. So I don't think he's to be trusted in any sort of way. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a fan of any of these politicians, just to be clear. Like, I think the whole situation needs to be undone. Is there a buyer? Does your taste provide thought to where someone says, I want that? Right. He said, I'm watching news. That's a horrible idea. News where? Like on the TV? That's why he was wearing a mask, bro. Don't let him do it to you again. Don't get caught up again. Don't watch TV. I hope you're not watching TV. I hope you ain't watching TV. Don't let me catch you watching TV. He was indicted. I don't care if it's him or Biden or Obama. Yeah, all of them need to go to prison for, or worse, for crimes against humanity. I mean, Trump helped facilitate Operation Warp Speed. Biden tried to come on and mandate that people take an experimental product. So that's all grounds for crimes against humanity. So yeah, there's just no skirting around that. I know some people are just super hyper Trump fans, so it's like, you know, brainwashed by, or just the idea of like brainwashed with the idea of someone needs to lead me. That's such a dangerous game. That's a very dangerous game, in my opinion. I need to be governed. The need to be governed is about to get a lot of people really messed up in this world. People really don't want to figure it out. Like, oh, okay. Govern me harder. Shady people. So I can just be convenient and comfortable and just live my mediocre life. Yeah. Risky comfort. Redacted on YouTube is just about the only news programming I can stomach. I'm open to alternative news sources. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. We will make sure you take those jab. Right. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Right? Crazy talk. And people was like, okay, I can't find the black women's. What the black women's? All right, so this is kind of interesting because I definitely want it to be black. I like black people, you know. Lens blur. Camera lens blur. Money. So I'm just like putting this blur effect on this thing to kind of simulate this depth of field situation. So when it comes in, okay, so it's actually by the time it gets over there, it's going to blur more. By the time it comes forward, then it starts getting blurry as it would, like a real depth of field situation. But it actually... Let me see how I'll do this. I'm gonna shrink this. I want it to be basically like right there. but then the camera's going to go past it. Oh, we'll let it rock right there, about right there. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see how that looks on full. Oh, man. About to start tripping. All right, let's see what happens. What y'all talking about? Let's see. That beat was fire. That beat is fire, and for the life of asking 5 times and one won't say who he's playing. I say it every time. It's Soundtrack. SNDKTRAK. SNDTRAK. Soundtrack. But listen to him. He be putting up all kind of beats. Stuff he's chopping up, stuff he's working on. When he gets back in town, we're going to work on some more unique collab content. Yeah, go check out Soundtrack. You swore you asked like hella times. Maybe on other streams. What? Gene said, wait. Does it still come with a free Krispy Kreme donut or dark beer? Right. Get the shot and you get some beer, some cookies, some weed, a lap dance, like for this thing that's will save your life. Like, really? For real? You gotta bribe me into it? You gotta give me stuff to take something that's gonna save my life? That seems shady to me. I don't know, but it seems kind of shady. I don't know, fam. Talk about that though. Not talk about that, people. We cannot talk about these things, people. Right, so I'm kind of rocking with that for now, but we shall see. We shall see. Trying to think the best way to set this up, because that already has all the effects and whatnot on it. It has depth, -300, and that is that paper texture. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take that paper texture, take it off 3D, take the scale down, just to make it fit. However, wait, okay, so at 100%, and then we're gonna take that and pre-compose paper motion. Pull this off just right. I don't know if it's right. Fight the curve and tag yourself on TikTok. You're talking to me? I do not like TikTok. Offering donuts for the jab is just like when they were urging black folks to the voter polls with catfish, collard greens, and cornbread. When we gonna wake up right? Creative Mind with the $1.99 super sticker. Always appreciated. People be like supporting and it be like making me like wanna keep doing nerd content like this. Like, this is so far away from what the people want. What the people want. All right, let me come in here though and see what's extra good, because government treating mofos like children, straight up. Right, but it only works because of the level of apathy that exists to where they could pull that off. You see, so it's like that's the only way that could possibly fly, is because the people are letting it fly. parents letting it fly. Like, do you people care about your children? And one, you should get married and have a family. But it's like, you don't even care about your kids. So what are you talking about? Why should I be like y'all? Y'all don't even care about nothing. And what you gonna be doing in my whole streams? Absolutely, Carrie D. Absolutely. That is definitely coming. All right, so let me see here. Oh, that's a bit much. Change the composition. Whoa, that only needs to be like max 10 seconds. All right, so cool. All right, so let's do this little trick. Y'all seen behind the scenes. Actually, we're gonna do them every 6 frame. So kind of make this little glitchy texture background situation. You guys see this is like a trendy kind of thing that I think I'll live on for a while because it's dope. It's like beyond just a trendy thing. I mean, there's a lot of use cases for something like what I'm about to show you guys here. I really like this effect, and it's not hard to do, but it is tedious. I thought about making like multiple packs like this for YouTubers to use for different backgrounds for their videos, depending on how crazy they want to get with it. But basically be able to take something like this, and then each one of these, you alter it slightly. So with that, I could scale it up and slide it like over here. I'll scale it even more. Let's be more drastic about it. And this one, I'll take it, like, because I was there. This one, let's scale it up and reflect horizontal. This one, scale, slide over here. This next one, scale it, flip vertical. So basically, yeah. Y'all feel it? Y'all feel it? Y'all feel it? You see what I did there? I see what you did there. Yeah. Cool little glitchy texture situation. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Feel free to super chat if you like what I just did there. Make a tutorial video on just making these textures, or just make a bunch of textures and just put them up for sale. You're correct. They don't care about their children. Right. But then they'd be like, when are you going to have one? So I could join the club of people who don't care, or so I can be the only one who does care. I'm like, I don't want my kids around y'all kids. Like, what? I have kids, so what? I can go to public school? Shit. My kids are better than your kids. I care about my kids. You'd be such a good father. No, I'd be in jail fooling with y'all. But it would just be cute. Yeah, because we talk about producing and bringing in little mini god beings into the world based on what's cute. Oh, that's cute. And one you should teach as an instructor under a professor at Berkeley or CCSF, since you're so technical in graphics and top-notch programs. Sure, if they would let me. And they pay me, right? I mean, that discussion has actually come up a few times, but they gotta. I might revisit it because it kind of came up, and it was more during this scamdemic-y thing where if I pull up to some place and some professor's like, we're still observing COVID rules, I'll be like, all right, bye. But don't you want to teach the class? Not really. Or you can contract and have your own makerspace. Now that's what I'm more interested in. Tutoring fashion students in computer aided drafting type computer stuff. Yeah. No, definitely. I'm down for that. That's something I'm working on this year. I'm gonna do like a after school program. Maybe we go get a building. My homie just got his nonprofit, so I could be able to like do a physical sponsorship under what he's doing. All right, so you guys see the whole thing I just made over there on that other layer. So that was the whole thing where I like took this paper, put it in here. So did this pre-composition thing. When I click on that one, it takes me into this composition that opens up more to where I now did this like repeating glitchy motion paper effect. So now the motion paper effect takes form over here. Yes, see. That's kind of cool right there. I will make the camera go in more. Oh, it's actually reacting to where I do it from. Damn it. All right, I got to reset that camera movement, but that's fine. Damn it. Start there. End there. All right, let's see, and then we'll shrink that a little bit. All right, what else we got going on? I'm down to help with that too. I'm looking for a building between Hercules and Oakland. Interesting. But yeah, I would more like, of course, as you guys, if you know anything about how I move, I like to have I gotta have a program, but have it under my own sort of like control, to where it's like, nah. And even work with the parents, it's like, if you want to send your children here, they're gonna learn something, but we're not playing the game with this foolishness. Like, we're not tap dancing around nature and being all fearful. We're not playing that game. So if you don't want your kid like being a real human being and want them on some like woke, kill yourself slowly, cover your airways, I'm not doing it. So you gotta, they're not welcome. See, just that alone, pretty simple. All right, so wait a minute, let's see. Ease that. Wait, so it goes in, and then I want it to go in a little more. Something kind of like that. It gets crazy, like dealing with these like the speed ramps and curves and whatnot. Carrie D with the support. Carrie D, you about to get into After Effects? You and Creative Mind getting into After Effects. A little something to put in the skills and resources jar. Y'all gonna make me cry. Y'all supporting me. I appreciate that, Carrie. I really don't want it to do the thing where it like goes backwards. It's kind of annoying. Because they're curious about graphics and tech. Not too many are baby kids anymore. take those who want to learn. Everyone is not going to be able to come. Yeah, no, big facts, big facts. Big facts. No, I understand. Just to the overall sort of impetus of this whole thing, a so-called black male space where we're trying to get guys to better themselves, but we figured out that we could profit from male rage, which is a quote from Donovan Sharp. So I'm not making it up. Guys actually talking about profiting from male rage. It's like, damn, son. Really? Really though? Like, you're good with that? You cool? You sure? You sure? You sure you're about that life? That's wild to me. Maybe I need to be more grimy and shrewd about life like that. Sheesh. But see, I feel I have the talents to where I could like do things in this world and be of resource, have some impact without being shady and not like capitalizing on people's downfall. Weird me. Man, you could do that. You could just come up, but nah, I could do it. I could come up and do things without contributing to the world being shitty. I think I could do that. I'm pretty sure I can pull that off. And one, you've got integrity, brother. Keep that energy. Yeah, it's like I don't even have a choice, man. At this point, it's just like universal wisdom. Like, it's better to just be cool. In a world that's already like shitty, why add to that? Just chill, man. Like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna make this even more dramatic. All right, let me see, because I kind of want to play with these lens flare things, but let me see. Maybe it works. I'm more of a dude who looks at more of what I want to accomplish with no jabs at the dysfunction. Everyone has choices, but not the same opportunities, and some are where they are and may never get out. Yeah, we're definitely different dudes. Like, I will definitely make jabs at the dysfunction. I have that type of pettiness built in me, and I'm down to do it. Yeah. I'm down to do it. Because some people, that's the only way you can motivate some people, is just to point it out. But yeah, I have the petty streak to where I will make jabs at it, sure. But I mean, without a doubt, my energy to affect it positively is way more than just the pettiness of taking a jab at it, without a doubt. Nobody can ever say that I at least spoke about and showed things, brought an energy of let's do real things that impact the world in a real way. No one can ever try to say that's not the case. Wait, what are y'all talking about? Carrie says exactly. It is possible to make a positive impact without being exploitative. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My jabs at anything is specifically like, yeah, I'll be low-key petty, like, bruh, like, especially to the point where people have literally said, well, AM1, if you want the place to be blah, 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 or, just try to take what I'm saying and say, you're just being content police. It's like, no, you talk like you're trying to say things that will better the position of black men. But I'm saying, hey, well, if we do these kind of things, this will more so objectively for sure change the position of black men for the better. And it's like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to only do this thing that we're calling helping to change. But really what it is just complaining about things that we don't have, aka sexual access, or just, I don't know, whatever they want from women, they don't get to have. And they want to make that be the most high priority thing. And I say, as long as you keep doing that, you got dudes hustling backwards. And then they say, okay, well, we don't want you around. We don't want you here. If you're gonna say those kind of things to guys, we don't want you here. And then it starts to beg the question, do you not want me here because you figured out like a way to capitalize on keeping guys in a stagnated position? That's kind of what it starts to sound like at a certain point. Like, oh, I found a way to make money off of this. So the last thing I want to do is change that up. And the last thing we need is you messing everything up, having dudes think that they deserve better. We don't want dudes thinking that, maybe there are more important topics. We don't want that. Let's put this other little glitchy thing in here. Cool. I'll leave it for now. I'm just going through these different effect things. You guys can't see it because it's on the... I got all kind of sound effects kind of things going on. What is this? Come on, man. Oh, because it's playing like MOV file. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, some kind of like film effect overlay thing. Damn, that thing is muddy. Interesting kind of thing, but it's like making it, because I do want like a grimy kind of effect, because the whole vibe is like get it out the mud, blah blah blah, but then do better. All right, back to comments. Looks like a movie effect. Yeah, it definitely is a movie effect. Creative Mind. Damn, another super sticker. Come on. What do you say? I'll push you, but not to tear you down. But you can't be a victim. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'll push you. Right. Y'all film overlay was nice. You just did. Yeah, I was thinking about keeping it. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's kind of a rugged kind of thing. I won't even talk to women who have that same mindset. Yeah, just the whole like victim kind of situation. They tell you that they don't want you around because you're trying to motivate them. Exactly. Discussions of opposition to being stronger men. I literally heard a dude say, some dudes are just saying you need to alpha your way through it. It's like the same dudes saying that are dudes who are all day, every day talking about women. It's like, what is with you guys? You guys are so strange. Like, why does some woman want you if that's your goofy sort of mentality? Like, that's crazy. Why do you think she wants you, sir? Like that even shouldn't even be your priority. But I mean, since it is, why does she want you? Oh, that's kind of dope right there. Yeah, I like that. Hold on. Hold up on. I like that. Just the perfect amount of like subtle kind of glitchiness. I like. I like that. I like that. Damn, hella glitchy. It's a bit much, actually. That's kind of dope right there. It's like just the eyeball for kind of having just the right amount. Carrie D, folks don't like to be held accountable or shown their shortcomings, but when someone is decent enough to mentor or call out BS, they should appreciate the correction and grow. Yeah, so it's that part, but then it becomes a matter of like, no, I found so this is like black men, so relative to the Black Manosphere and the skills and resources discussion and pushback. Black men who are aware of and talk about sort of like the push for like the hyper liberal fake woke victim consciousness push keep black people in a perpetual state of lesser than-ness and victimhood. So these are guys who are really stuck in a victimhood sort of modality and just want to stay there because it's easier to just stay there than it is to like make the so-called hard changes in life. They don't want to do that. That's the self-introspection thing. Had guys in here earlier saying, well, they disagree with me. I'm like, well, you have to do better yourself before you can really complain about how someone outside of you, something outside of you is or isn't interacting with you. Like if you know you could be doing better, well, that one thing might be the reason why you're not attracting the women you want or whatever. Like just that simple equation alone shuts the whole game down. But of course, somebody who just wants to point the finger at external things isn't going to want to hear that. So that's kind of, we come full circle back to, no, go away, because you're talking about actual solutions that are rooted in, I have to do better and better myself. I ain't trying to hear all that. Yeah. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, and I don't believe in that alpha your way through it bullshit. Nor are you owed privileges for being high value. Well, I guess different. You said you don't believe in alpha your way through it. So I guess what do you mean by that? Because that can mean a lot of different things to different people, right? When I think of alpha your way through it, I'm like, what I'm hearing with that is life is hard. Yes, we know that. You're gonna have to be a man and make adaptations. That's my take on alpha your way through it. So if I hear alpha your way through it and that's how I interpret it, then I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to alpha your way through it. Now it might mean something else to someone else. But if it does mean what I'm interpreting it to mean, then it's kind of like, yeah, life is hard. Nothing is owed to you. Make certain adaptations and figure it out. Now, maybe there's a better definition for that. If so, I'm open to hear that, but it kind of seems like, you know what I mean, universally, you know, like I'd be open to hear another thought of what that means. I think it's okay to disagree. I don't think what say on the topic applies to each other. And you were being funny. Yeah, no. But I mean, you know, like my first instinct, as you can see, wasn't to just jump up and down about it. I was like, well, maybe I'm just have a different thought process on it. Let this do a little pre-render. All right, so I'm not gonna do that. I think the kind of next thing I want to do with this. I really want to be petty with this. Make a whole promo that's specifically like Manosphere centered and say something like, let me see. Let me see if this will work. Hold on, y'all see what I'm about to do. All right, so here's what I'm gonna try to do. All right, so I'll take this paper motion thing and this thing right here, duplicate it, drag this up because basically I'm gonna start like a whole kind of new little situation here where let's see how we can make this work. All right, so skills and resources text here, make this yellow just so it stands out more. And then put this little effect thing to make this get up out of here. I should didn't have this memorized by now. Which one is this? Out on that. All right. So that gets up out of there. All right. So from there, that's gone. And then we'll go like this. I don't think this is going to work quite right, but I was kind of thinking about something like this because I low-key want to, I want to make it lighthearted. I know I can. I'm a jokester. I'm a big kid, but I know I can seem a little too serious sometimes. So I got to lighten up a little bit. All right, hold on. I was away from the chat. Let me see what y'all saying. A lot of these dudes don't understand how optics works. You can't take over other territories if your own territory isn't strong. Wow. Big facts. Many dudes online will call each other things they don't know each other are not. And that is because the person they're referring to or complaining about is not around. I guess assuming is the closest to it. Well, sure. But I mean, there is still like deductive reasoning in the sense that if you hear someone say something enough times, then you can get an idea that, oh, that's what that person thinks, or at least they have said it. Now, if what they're saying and it reflects their thoughts has a certain pattern, then there's pattern recognition. Somebody keeps saying, the BW, blah, 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 blah. The BW, blah, 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 blah. And you hear them say this for years, then you start to think, oh, they got complaints about the BW, right? And if you hear someone say that for years, but then you see this person eating fast food and driving around and being belligerent and yelling and screaming and just doing whatever, or you never see a guy's face, or they just complain, then you see, oh, you're complaining about these women, and then it's like, do you even interact with these women or no? Like, that's just objectively like weird. No? That's just like, what? All right, let me see if I can pull this out. So I took these things I just wrote up. I'm thinking it's in the form of like almost like a commercial kind of sequence where it all right, wait, it go like this. And it goes like this. Skip to my loo. Yes. All right, so it takes longer to pre-render. So I'm going to put it there, but for the sake of making this easier, I'll put this at 3 seconds because I can make this basically be like a template. 3 seconds, because to 6 seconds would be 3 seconds. So we can go like that, and hopefully it works out right. All right. So I take my little notes here. We're gonna start with, so this is like aimed at the guys that's in my perception, some of the manosphere-ish kind of guys. Messed up there. Why does it keep jumping right there? It doesn't make any sense. All right. Oh, capitalized broke, I think. So it's like, here's the answer to these things. Tired of being broken, dusty, duskicky. Here's the answer. Yeah, man, you can't have your way through it. I make $300,000 a year, but I still have a problem with women. Okay. Something's lacking, sir. I'm thriving, but I'm not blaming Pookie for every causation of my situation. The very thing that dudes don't want done to them on YouTube from women they're doing to each other, like females gaslighting. Well, I mean, the Pookie discussion could be thought of as, okay, if you're doing Pookie, when I think of Pookie Ray Ray, essentially what they're saying is thugs. You know, just the universal concept of somebody who's harming their community, right? Doing mostly like criminal sort of things. But, you know, crimes, you know, a subjective kind of statement to a certain degree, but objectively doing things that are harming their community in a thuggish kind of way. Thugs coming from literally thuggy, the Indian word of where the guys would be jumping out robbing people, the thugs, the thuggies. So yeah, that there's something to be said for that if you so-called care about some kind of community type situation. Now, it is true that dudes have leveraged this whole Pookie whatever discussion based on why do the good women want to smash Pookie? Why not me? I'm the good guy and I blah, blah, blah. I'm not harming the community and I am theoretically the family man kind of guy that you really want. But that whole discussion is tired of being broken, Dusty. Hold on. I'll come with this one next. Hold on. This one's funny. Let me scale that up. All right. You guys see where I'm going with this now, right? This is all right. So this is a perfect example of how I said my pettiness will shine through. But at least I'm gonna use you know, some talents and skills to do something that could theoretically be of benefit, right? You know, some of this stuff only has context relative to sort of Black YouTube, Black Manosphere. So that's kind of what it is. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the Skills and Resources. Cause I'm gonna take this thing that I'm building right now and put it, this will be one of the first things I put on the Skills and Resources channel. So make sure you guys go sub to that and there'll be more of this coming. We're gonna do some real interesting stuff with this. Well, they're calling each other that. Well, all right, narratives and dialogues. You do realize there are some men who openly call them men and women, but we're talking about men. Men who refer to themselves as thugs talk about thuggery shit that they did in the hood. Okay. And as we know, because of the dysfunctional nature of humans and particularly Black folks, we know that thuggery and criminality is actually seen as something of a source of pride in some communities and in some mindsets, right? So this could, to a certain degree, show as like something to be proud of, something glamorous, something that shows character or strength. It should be pinned. Is it not pinned to the top of the stream? para pinte. Then you got Swahili popping in here. A nerd doesn't blend with Cardi B. Yeah, the manosphere literally became the enemy. Feminism, right? It's so much foolishness with this, but that's my point. At least with this, like this will be a meager attempt at least trying to steer the conversation in a different direction. Like if we're gonna talk building men, like you could talk all this stuff about what women are doing or not doing, and it's like you can't force anybody to do anything. All right, so shut up. So we got that sorted out, right? You can't make anybody do anything, right? You can't hold the women accountable. You can't shame them. You can't blame them for doing this, that, and the third. In a lot of cases, they know exactly what they're doing, and that's somebody's right to do it. You have a right to fuck off your life, yeah. And that could be at the cost of a whole community, whatever. When it boils down, in most instances, the dudes are just mad because they don't have the access to women that they would like, and they just don't want to be honest about that. So they use smoke screens like, well, why are they messing with this guy? That's not me. And their argument actually could be sound. The whole bottom line is nobody owes you that. That's the part everybody's missing. Nobody ever owed you that. There's so much like people moping around super duper sad about life based on the idea that they thought somebody owed them something. And it's like, no, who told you that? Nobody owes you anything. Stop that. Stop being entitled to think that somebody's supposed to love you or bow down to you or care about you. Nobody owes you anything. The quicker more people realize that, we'll start getting somewhere. A lot of this woke entitlement, identity politics type stuff won't fly when you make it real apparent. Hey, nobody owes you anything. Nobody has to care about you identify as whatever. Nobody has to care about that. There's no rule that says someone has to care about that. Gender war fatigue. Got a few of them. Tired of being broken dusty. I put gender war fatigue. What was the other one? Where is it? Oh. All right, let's go to the extra petty level. Petty level 3. Let's go to petty level 3 out of 10 before we proceed to bring that pettiness back on your ass. Yeah, like that one. Does that one work? You guys see where I'm doing with this, right? You see where I'm going with this, right? You see what I'm doing here? It's making a little message, a little call to action. Here's the answer. Here's the answer you need. Here's how we should maybe let's think of it. Let's think of. I think those get smaller, so this one can get bigger. That's gonna be the max size. So put a keyframe there, and it's gonna go up from 75, maybe. Oh no, it's gonna go up from 65. 60. Let's be more dramatic. All right, we'll take that. So I'll take those same keyframes and put them right here because this is the exact same text anyway. So I'll paste that right there and then go to scale. And as you can see, it's pasted there. Cool. So tired of being broken dusty? Skills and resources. Gender war fatigue? Skills and resources. Gynocracy beating your ass? Skills and resources. Do you see the theme here, right? You see what I'm doing here now? It's pretty obvious what's going on here now, right? You see what we're doing here. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, folks. Back to the comments. Let's see. I'll take that part out. Wait. Oh, okay. They're here to learn. See, yeah, and that's what I thought. But you can at least you can be honest to say there's some dudes who don't want to learn, and that there's dudes who just want to wallow in self pity and just complaining about women, right? Which is just a failing game. And there's dudes who are on these things and supporting content creators who now have them as this sort of vicious supply and demand scenario where it's like, I'm frustrated with the world and what I'm not getting out of the world, and I'm putting so much emphasis and focus on that, and I'm supporting people who keep me just in that narrow focus to the point where I'm not using that energy to better myself to get the very things that I'm complaining about not having. Like, you got to see the weird feedback loop of this, right? I mean, I do. How do you not see it? I've talked to two dudes who work and live in tents in the documentary on the Pokey and Ray Ray, who said they super chat content creators. That's an interesting thing, because are those content creators creating a situation and giving them game that can help them not be living in tents? Gynocracy, shill, pig cry in this space is so 2017. It's so it never. I mean, it's way played out, but it was never in style. Oh, Warrior Dream said I'm about to immerse myself in Swahili. Creative Mind says there's hella dialect. Jeez, 13 or 14 different dialects. Whew. I'm just trying to rock out some Spanish here. Creative Mind got Italian on deck, a few other things. I'm like, man. Goals. Hashtag goals. I do not like what's happening with After Effects right now. It's really not giving me my proper render speeds. It's not feeling me right now. The guys that come around me who want to complain or blame the white man, they're so 90s. They want to learn how to make things better. There's a very low percentage of guys now that are doing incomplete sentence. Yeah, no, and that's the whole point, bro. So you see what I'm saying? Like, so that same percentage, I literally started the stream talking about this whole like dichotomy and percentage of people in the real world in general who want to actually do better, and that shows itself here in sort of Black YouTube, Black Manosphere thing. And I'm like, out of the percentage of guys who do, they're out of the percentage of guys who have found themselves falling into this whole sort of battle cry of gender war or gynocracy, or let's just complain about what women are doing. I'm like, hey, there's a better way. Skills and resources for all of the little things that you're fretting over. Don't fret. All the things you're complaining about, there's a better way. There's a better way. Focusing on the things you actually can control. That's the better way. Skills and resources, because you're gonna need that. That's the next one I'm gonna do. With or without, before or after a woman, skills and resources. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it because it's weird that it like annoys some people. So the petty side of me is like, yeah, I'm gonna keep smacking y'all with that. Because we're gonna do the media repetition thing. Club Fortune with the $2 super chat. I appreciate that, man. I only donate to creators that I learn from. I mean, imagine if that was the bar for something like a online space, YouTube space, especially if it's going to be some kind of, if we're going to play the we're an oppressed people game, right? But then we have a tool that could be used for learning light speed communication around the world. But let's just entertain and just be on some ratchet, just fuckery. Really? But we so oppressed. Stop it. That looks silly. Who would take you seriously? If somebody came at me with that, I wouldn't take them seriously. So collectively as a people, I don't take us seriously. But at least I say, well, with that, let me try to make some changes then and be the change I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta admit, yeah, it sounds pretty good. It sounds real, dude.
this is ridiculous, man. Hey, I'm gonna go somewhere with that. This space is just about entertainment. But then at the same time, we're trying to get the message out, and the message is spreading. Wait, what's the message of just that? It's just entertainment? Dudes be really trying to have it both ways. Ready to be of value? Skills and resources. So basically, like, however you slice it, skills and resources. Oh, you know what I should do? Oh, that's how I should do. And this last one, ready to be of value, skills and resources, put a little marker there. Oh, wait, get off of that. Marker. Split the camera. Where the camera at? Split the camera. Duplicate the camera. Slide the camera right there. Because the camera has the movement built into it. Skills and resources. Oh no, that's the money thing. That's fine because that's going to change because of the camera. Perfect. And we'll get rid of that one. And that can stay there, or duplicate that one because that's the thing repeating itself. All right, so wait a minute. Oh, cool. So it's just that, and oh, it's basically all the same anyway. All right, fine. And then it basically just does what it does at the beginning. It's taking so like much to render. I can't really tell exactly how this is all playing out. But now it's just back to that same camera movement. Oh, but then it had this too. Glitchy stuff. Add that back in there too. Come on, yo. There we go. The glitchy-ish. All right, back to the comments. Creative Mind, I'm headed to East Africa next month. Tanzania, Kenya. Picked up a bug, may have to do classes when I arrive. Salute to that. That's what's up. Oh, he switched out to the other account. Phone went dead. AM1, your source material is rich and eclectic. Can't wait to see what you create. Not much change in the UI in the last 15 years. That's a plus. Yeah. Where's Dream? Kenya was dope back in 2021. Yeah, I want to go there too. Yeah, no, I know who you are, bro. Oh, wait, let me fix this. All right, so I'll just put it right there. It'll take way too much power to make this render at full resolution. So you guys are seeing it at like the quarter resolution. Just like a low-key, a little ad kind of thing. Just kind of letting people know. But, you know, I can be petty and put this up in Black YouTube so they can kind of see what the deal is. Tired of being broke and dusty. What does it say? What's the next one? Gender war beating your ass. Is that gender war whooping your ass, sir? Gender war whooping your ass, buddy? Sorry, little buddy. AM1, don't make fun of guys. It's hard out here for these guys. You're cold-hearted. You don't care about what guys are dealing with. Not really. I mean, hard, hard things, right? Hard times. Whoa. We all got hard times, no? We got hard. Life can be hard. We know this. It's not gonna work really. Maybe with the flare and the. Oh, that's kind of dope. I just had those subtle ones right there. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. But then it gets way overpowered. It's way too like powerful for most of it. Just experimenting, relax, be cool. Y'all be cool. This is an interesting look though, because this is like has this grittiness to it. There's like way more to this that I would do. You'll see how tedious this is, but there's actually a lot more that I would do with this. Some of the details I won't bore you guys with because it does seem like it'll be super duper boring. Let's see. Glad you used the $ in the word. Yeah, you see, you see exactly what I was doing with that. Not broken, Dusty. Skills and resources, the answer to last February was crazy for you on Art's panel when he tried to interview you. Yeah, you saw that? Because then the other guys jumped on the panel and then it was just like, geez. Shake my head. The shrill pig cries started outrageously in Red Pill Rage. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid certain, like, addressing people directly with certain things, but I really want to render. I gotta render this out and see how this. Hey, I'm kind of liking this. Gynocracy beating your ass. Should I wait? Should I make it Gynocracy beating your ass, or should it be Gynocracy beating your ass? Should I niggify it? Oh yeah, I think I just answered my question. It's only right. It's only right that I do it right. You see what I'm doing here? You like the subliminals? You see what's going on here, right? Gynocracy beating your ass. Oh my goodness. To like build something and low-key talk a little shit at the same time. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, because it's hidden by that. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I gotta fix that. That for all of these. Oh, wow. All right, wait, it's getting kind of crazy. That's After Effects for you. Look at that. It's so beautiful. The chaos is beautiful. The chaos is totally beautiful. I once wrote a rap song called Beautiful Chaos. If you guys are good one day, I'll play it for you. Do you have different people following you? I like your professional voice. Thank you. I think you should talk slang, then get in your news voice on the other parts. Wait. Oh, you do have different people following you. Okay, I see what you're saying. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. Yeah, that's interesting. This discussion in and of itself. AM1, you code switching. All right, this is pretty much is about as done as I'm about to get it for today. But I just want to work on this and kind of just chop it up. Just thought process, skills and resources, blah blah blah. Saturday at night. It's already been on here damn near 3 hours. Damn, yeah, time flies. In After Effects, time flies. I super duper appreciate super chats. Creative Mind, hit me up. Carrie D, Club Fortune. Who else? I saw some things in here. Got some Carrie D. Creative Mind. AZ Tech on the Cash App. Warrior's Dream with the support from last stream. It's not letting me see everything. Oh, who was that? Creative Mind. Creative Mind always flexing. Gene hit me with the 10 super chat. Ross's Realities with the 2. Super appreciate all of you. And that rhymes. All right, I'm gonna shut this thing down. Time for VS and time to be a professional. Exactly. Code switching is okay. Right. I was trying to let this thing kind of low-key pre-render all the way out, but you guys basically see kind of what we're working with. That's kind of dope. I'm kind of rocking with this. I'm kind of rocking with it. I mean, it's still pre-rendering right now, but so far, I'm kind of liking the... Gender war fatigue. See, it's not playing right because it's doing the pre-render thing. And it has like so many pixels it has to render on each frame, even at quarter resolution, that it takes long to pre-render. So watch, this little clip that's like less than 25 seconds is going to take probably like 10 minutes to render out at least, just because there's so much going on. All these little specks, all these little specks of grit and grime and grunginess makes it that much harder to render. Let me get set up to render. You guys won't see it because it'll take a while, but I'll play it later. Like once I refine this and play it, I'll throw it up and you guys will be like, oh, that's the thing he built when we were on that stream. So you guys get to see it full circle. So that's an interesting kind of content strategy, right? Build some stuff in After Effects, talk about it, chop it up. I'm gonna be doing that more. Shout out to the folks that was inspiring me behind the scenes to be like, yeah, do more of that. Streams where we're just building stuff out. I'm gonna set it up to where I can like have a camera on me where it's kind of almost split screen. You can see me while I'm talking about this. I mean, other content creators have done it. But I was told by a friend of mine that if I can set it up to where people can see me and see what I'm doing, that it could be a cool look. SXR promo test. Let's see how long it takes to render. Maybe it does render fast. There's no way. Damn, wait. Well, happy birthday, sir. I enjoy spending my birthday tonight here tonight. Damn, I don't think you let us know it was your birthday, or maybe I missed that. Happy birthday, sir. I appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, just getting set up for the rendering is wild. Give me the estimated time. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that because this is behind the scenes stuff. I was hoping that it would give me the render time so I could at least tell you guys. All right, so it started. Still calculating. Let's see what it says. It's not even telling me the remaining time will be right here. It's not even telling me. Yeah, I know it's going to be a while. All right, I'm leaving it at that, y'all. But yeah, wait, did it tell me? Look, it's just doing that. So it has to render all of that. So much stuff to render into it. And I'm not even sure how well it's going to turn out. But I'm going to let it just do its thing. It's not giving me the elapsed time, so it is what it is. But yeah, are you ready to be of value? So what are we doing? Tired of being broken dusty? Skills and resources. Gender war fatigue? Skills and resources. Gynocracy beating your ass? Skills and resources. Ready to be of value? Skills and resources. I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Happy birthday to Narratives and Dialogues. All right, peace out, y'all.